Peace to the 12. Y'all see the title, man. Black Aztecs. Okay, Black Aztecs. Yeah, I said it, man. And before people get on here and start, hey, just watch the video, man. Okay, and even though I titled this Black Aztecs, we're going to be talking about South America, Central America, stuff like that. Okay, so let's get straight to it, man. All right, it's not just going to be about the Aztecs, but you got to have a title. So, this is something called the Bonampak murals. All right, some of you brothers are probably familiar with this, and some of you ain't, man. Now look at this. This is the Bonampak. It's best known for the colorful floor-to-ceiling murals that cover the interior walls of a small three-room building on the first level of the Acropolis. All right, the Bonampak, ancient city, Mexico. Now you can kind of see already from right here. You can see the likeness of these people that are on these Bonampak murals of the Mayans. Okay, you can already see right there, right? And I'm actually gonna pull up the Bonampak murals. Okay, so this video, by the way, let me go ahead and say this. It's gonna have images. It's gonna have peer studies and books, all right, as well as scriptures, of course. And I just wanted to get that out there. Now, these are some pictures that are of these Bonampak murals. Okay. Now, as you can see, look at the features. Look at the features. Dark skinned. Okay, dark skinned. And when I say black Aztecs, no, it's so-called black because notice that it's really so-called black because black is not a race. I keep saying that a color does not determine one's race, but black is the colloquialism that most people use. Okay, it's the common colloquialism that people identify as due to being deculturalized. Okay, now anyway, these are the Bonampak murals. Y'all can look this up yourself. Okay, these are more pictures of the Bonampak murals. I mean, I don't know how more specific this could be. These dudes look like they got in the Coolio braids. Remember the rapper Coolio? Okay, once again, look at these Mayans. Look at this. Look at this dark. Look at that. All right, look at these Mayans. Okay. A Mayan ruler looking into the mirror. Look at this. You know, it's pretty common, man. Pretty common. All right, as you can see, look at this brother. Okay. Just keep going. Keep going. All right, ruler being dressed with giant animal headdress. I mean, I don't know how much more clear it can be, man. Okay. They look like they got fringes on. Borders blue. So it look like. All right, look at this. Man, got a jaguar skin on. All right, you can tell that he's so-called black, right? Now, we 3 minutes in. We're going to keep going, though. Now, when I said black Aztecs, right? This is a 19th century picture of an Aztec couple. Okay, you can Google this, actually. Now, as you can see, you see the woolly hair. Okay, you see the afros. All right, these are known as Aztecs. All right, and I got this from realhistory.www.com. These pictures. Okay, I wanted to give a shout out to them. I think I typed in realhistory.www. And then Mexico. It reads, the last of the great Mesoamerican cultures were the Aztec. There were a Nahuatl-speaking people who in the 15th and early 16th centuries ruled a large empire in what is now central and southern Mexico. The Aztec are so-called from the word Aztecan, white land, in allusion to their place of origin, possibly in Mexica, probably from Metizapalian Moon Lake. The mystical name for the Lake Texaco from Tenochtitlan was derived the name of their great city, Tenochtitlan, you know. And from Mexico came the name of the city, succeeded in Aztec capital. In the surrounding valley, this name was applied later to the whole Mexican nation. Okay? Now look at these ancient, look at the 19th century. Look at this Aztec couple, man. Look at that. All right, this is Moctezuma. Title, Moctezuma Rex. All right, 1671, the year 1671. striking example with a famous portrait of Montezuma, the last king of the Aztecs. Now, as you can see, the dark skin. This is a dark skin. This is the last king of the Aztecs. Montezuma is shown in full war dress with a picture of part of modern Mexico City behind him. The portrait is from John Ogilvy's Complete History of America, one of the most influential works of the 17th century. Okay, now look at that. Dark skin. Okay. This is a 1671 drawing of the Aztec of Mexico, encountered by Hernan Cortez. Okay, look at the hair. Look at the skin, man. From the book America, being the latest and most accurate depiction of the New World by John Ogilvy. Okay, so, I mean, I ain't just blowing smoke, all right? Now, I already know I'm still going to have people. Man, well, just watch the video, man. We're going to keep going. This is a big picture of the Aztec couple. You can look it up. Look at that. The hair. Okay. The Aztec physical appearance. Let's read some of this. Y'all can pause and read the rest. The Aztecs were short and stocky. The men rarely than 5 feet 6 inches tall, and the women more delicately built with an average height of about 4 feet 8 inches. Skin color varied from dark to light brown. Okay. Yeah, dark skin, light skin, so called, right? Eyes were black or brown. Hair was coarse, black and straight. Well, obviously not all of their hair was black and straight. Look at that. But let's go down to here is what I wanted, right? Here is a 16th century Spanish description. So this is a 16th century Spanish description, all right, of the Aztecs. So like it says, the people of this land are well made, rather tall than short. They are swarthy as leopards, of good manners of gestures, for the greater part very skillful, robust, and tireless, and at the same time the most moderate men known. They are very warlike and face death with the greatest resolution. They was warriors. But look, it says they are swarthy as leopards. Now, why would he say they are swarthy as leopards? Clearly he wasn't talking about the average leopard, because the average leopard does not fit the description as swarthy. The term swarthy means black. The term swarthy means black or very dark. So when he says they are swarthy as leopards, he's talking about the black leopard. He's talking about the Black Panther. Okay? Look, the word swarthy as leopards, swarthy as leopards. The Spanish described the Aztecs as swarthy as leopards. Okay? Now I typed in a picture of a swarthy leopard. And look, black, swarthy, jet black. So this would be a swarthy leopard. You understand? Dark skinned. Okay? But also notice he did state. Let me go back real quick. Notice he did state that the skin color was dark to light brown. Yeah, light skin. Like they try to tell you that light skin comes from admixture. Not always, man. You have people that are just born light skin. Like I have both so-called black parents. I'm a so-called light skinned person. But moving on, man. Now let's get the definition of swarthy according to the Samuel Johnson's dictionary. Okay, Samuel Johnson's dictionary in 1755. So this is a 1755 definition of the word swarthy. All right, swarthy, dark of complexion, black, dusky, tawny. The swarthy Africans complain. Okay, he called the Africans swarthy. All right, black. All right, climate color is black or swarthy. You know, I went over this many times, but we got to keep doing it. So when he says they were swarthy, he was saying that they was black, man. Okay? He was saying that they was black, but I'm going to keep going, man. I got a lot. All right, forgive me. The allergies are messing me up, man. But, you know, we're going to get through it. Hopefully, if it be the Lord's will, we're going to get through it. Okay, now this is a PNAS study of the cranial morphology of early Americans from Lago Santa, Brazil. Implications for the settlement of the New World. Okay, I'm going to go to the highlighted portions because let's just get to it, okay? Y'all can read this and pause if y'all want, but I'm just going to get the highlighted portions for sake of time. The earliest South Americans. Now, let me read that again. The earliest South Americans. All right, the first. The earliest South Americans tend to be more similar to present Australians, Melanesians, and sub-Saharan sub-Saharan Africans. Okay? It says, let me read that again. The earliest South Americans tend to be more similar to present Australians, Melanesians, and sub-Saharan Africans. Okay? Supporting the hypothesis that two distinct biological populations could have colonized the New World in whatever that word is, transition. Now, it said similar to sub-Saharan Africans, right? Why do I say that? Because when you look up so-called Afro-Mexicans, you can look it up, Afro-Mexicans. They try to tell you that an Afro-Mexican, also known as a black Mexican, Mexicanos, Negros, are Mexicans who have heritage from sub-Saharan African and identify as such. Okay, so these are Afro-Mexicans, by the way. Now he said that the earliest people, meaning the first, were similar to sub-Saharan Africans. Look at these Afro-Mexicans. And let me say this too. Do I believe that they really are from sub-Saharan Africa? No. Okay? But what they're basically telling you is that the earliest South Africans were in fact so-called black. Okay? But they like to try to paint everybody as an African. Okay, you have black, all so-called black people do not come from Africa. I've stated that plenty of times, but I digress. Okay, now these are the Afro-Mexicans, like I stated. So-called Afro-Mexicans. Afro-Mexican pride. New census brings light Afro-Mexican heritage. Now, as you can see, don't they look similar? Don't they look similar to this couple, man? A little bit. Look at that hair. Afro-Mexicans. Okay? Let's keep reading on, man. Once again, I'm going to get to the highlighted part. The earliest South Americans tend to be more similar to present Australians, Melanesians, and sub-Saharan Africans. We stated that before. Now let's go down to here. In this paper, the morphological affinities of early South Americans are assessed by using the largest sample of early American skulls ever studied. All specimens were recovered in Lagoa Santa region in central Brazil. So once again, the earliest South Americans were similar to the Australians, Melanesians, and sub-Saharan Africans. Okay? These are Afro-Brazilians. Remember, it said it was from central Brazil when the skulls were found. These are Afro-Brazilians. All right, they try to tell you that all these Afro-Mexicans, Afro-Brazilians are descendants of slaves. That's a damn lie, man. That's a damn lie. That's why I'm doing this video, man. Okay, they keep trying to equate our history to nothing more than slavery. And then one day the so-called good white man came and saved us, which it's just, it ain't happened, man. All right, let me say that too. That's another video for another day. But in the time of involuntary servitude, there were free so-called blacks around. Okay, I'll do a video on that at some point. Once again, Afro-Brazilians. Look at that. Afro-Brazilians. Okay? I'm going to go back to some highlighted parts. These are mainly Australian and African samples, although some Polynesian, Guam, and North Moroi and American series, Eskimos, and Base can be found in the extremity of Lagoa Santa's 95% confidence dispersion. Okay? Now look. Shows that the majority of the series within the Paleo-Indian dispersion are Austro, Melanesians, and Africans. Okay? That's the study. Now, once again, this is just according to them, but they're letting you know what their features were, their depictions are, man. Okay? Now, these are pictures of Melanesians. All right? These are Melanesians. Melanesians, as you can see. They have different shades of hair, all type of stuff, man. Different hair types. Melanesians. Okay? Let's go down to here. Right? It says the same cranial pattern has already been described in places as distant and as ecologically different as southern Chile. Okay? Southern Chile. Now, hold on. Let me highlight this real quick. Let me get this real quick just to put it in perspective. Very similar to present Australia, Malaysians, and Africans. Okay? Coming back. The same cranial pattern has already been described in places as distant and as eschatologically different as southern Chile, Colombia, Mexico Basin, Baja California, United States, Florida, and elsewhere in Brazil. So they found these bones in all these fellow places with these features that make them similar to Melanesians and Africans. And look, ding ding, Mexico, which is why I did this video. But remember, I told you it's going to be about South America and Central America as well. Okay, so there is so-called black history in Mexico. Okay? Let's keep going, man. Sorry for my allergies. Genetic evidence for two founding populations of the Americas. Okay, a nature study. It says here we analyze the genome-wide data to show that some Amazonian Native Americans descend partly from Native Americans as found in the population that carry ancestry more closely related to indigenous Australians, New Guineans, and Andaman Islanders than to any present-day Eurasians or Native Americans. Okay? So look at that. And it keeps using Australians, right? Well, let me show you a picture of some Aboriginal Australians. These are Aboriginal Australians. Dark skin with quote unquote wavy hair, right? Dark skin with straighter looking hair. Aboriginal Australian Pacific Islanders. Look at that. Okay? They all got that dark pigmentation, man. And Amazonian. Now remember, I used the word Amazonian. Some Amazonian Native Americans are descended from, we already discussed, so-called Australians. That's what they say. But once again, do I believe that? Not necessarily. Now, Amazonian. Related to or denoting the Amazon River or its surrounding region. Okay, the Amazons. Now, isn't it funny, too? I mentioned this before, that even in the fictional comic book known as Wonder Woman, you have an Amazon by the name of Nubia. Now, those of you that know the Nubians, that's in Africa. Now, this is Nubia. She's an Amazon. Okay? They're trying to let you know. Now, I'm going to read a book that I personally own. It's titled, Black People Are Indigenous to the Americas. Research material for the Inquisitive by Kimberly R. Norton. Okay? Let's turn to the page. I don't remember what page this was on, but anyway, South America. Inhabitants are dark, swarthy complexion. This book is titled South America, page 100 and 101. Okay? It states, on one of these islands, we had an interview with the Caucasus tribe who had come here from the continent on a fishing excursion. Now look, these Indians have a very dark, swarthy complexion. Now we already touched in, according to 1755 dictionary, the word swarthy means black. Okay? We already touched on that. We tapped in on that. Swarthy complexion are of middling stature. Now we're going to go down to here. What I highlight, what I underline. These three distinct tribes, I have no doubt, have all descended from one common stock, meaning they're all related. All right? And they are known as swarthy, dark-skinned black. Okay? According to that. Let's keep going. All right? They created the poncho. The poncho, they had long, coarse black hair. Okay? Like so. Let's keep going. Let me get here. Let's talk about the so-called Mexicans that are described, right? Page 91 of this book. Page 91 of this book. Okay? Look at my dirty ass fingernails. But anyway. The Mexican Indians have generally a swarthy and copper color, flat and smooth hair, small beard, and squat body. Okay? Let me repeat that. The Mexican Indians have generally a swarthy and copper color. So swarthy, once again, let me go back just in case you didn't hear me. Swarthy. The swarthy Africans. Swarthy. Black. Okay? And I'm going to show y'all some pictures of them that are still around. Okay? They try to act like they don't exist anymore. They do. Okay? So stop believing that everybody that's over there was a descendant of a damn slave. And that's how they got over there. All the slave trade brought them over to those different parts of the Americas, man. Nah, man. They try to have you believe it's just this. But look. Viceroyalty of New Granada, census 1789. Okay? In the Americas, the largest number of African slaves were shipped to Brazil. However, in Spanish Viceroyalty of New Granada, the free black population in 1789 was 420,000. All right? 420,000. And look, he says only the truly stupid would think that the free black population were emancipated slaves. Yeah, stop believing that when you see a title that says free blacks, stop believing that free blacks mean they got their freedom from being a slave. No, they was already there. There was free range, okay? Every so-called free black was not somebody that started off as a slave, man. Whereas African slaves number only 20,000. Free blacks also outnumber slaves in Brazil. So there's only 20,000 African slaves accordingly. Okay, so where the rest of these free blacks come from? They was already there. Okay? You know, they turned us into a proverb and a byword. Look at Mexico. Proverb and a byword right there, man. These are damn postage stamps. Look at this. Became a byword, a saying. We are become a byword among the nations for our ridiculous views and animosities. Even now, our people have animosities infused with one another, which are ridiculous. And because of that, we are made fun of by the other nations, and they use our hate towards one another to bring us down even further. Even though because they are already oppressing us, and on top of that, you got people that choose to go to war with each other, man. Okay. Now look, I'm gonna show you some picture of some so-called dark Mexicans. The Tarahumara Indians. Okay? This is a Tarahumara Indian. Chihuahua, Mexico. Tarahumara Indian. Chihuahua, Mexico. Look, dark skin. Look at that. Look at the dark skin. Okay? And I'm not trying to say that they was what you would call Negroes. I'm just telling you that they was dark skin. Okay? Look at them. Some more Tarahumara Indians. Look at that. Look at this. Okay? Other blacks of Mexico. Look at this brother. This Richard Pryor's dad. Other blacks of Mexico. Look. Dark skin. Dark skin. Go get some photos. Dark. Look at the hair. Dark skin. Our people are different shades of brown. Okay? Some of our people have different phenotypes. Look at this. I'm just going to get the pictures, you know. Look at the pictures. They speak for themselves. They speak for themselves, man. Okay? These are all people of Mexico. Okay? These are all people of Mexico. All these people did not come from slavery, man. Okay? Look at these people. Look at the braids. Okay, look at that. All right, y'all see? Hopefully y'all starting to see. All right, I ain't tripping. Okay, look at that. You know, I'm going through these pictures real fast because I got a lot of them, man. I got a lot of them. He doing her hair. Her kinky hair. Look at this. Okay, and I have had people tell me that these people don't get treated very, very, very nicely, which I could believe. I could believe. All right, this is so-called dark Mexican picture. Now, this person, I don't know if it's a man or a female, resembles Michael Jackson to me. Okay? Look at Michael Jackson. Look at this photo. They resemble each other to me. Okay? Hopefully y'all starting to see it. You know, I do more on the add mixture on another time. You know. Now this is a book. This is a book. This. Now I'm on the scriptural side, I believe. Okay. Now this is the book of the gods and rites of the in the ancient calendar by Fray Diego Duran. Okay. Now, this is another subject troubled Duran as time passed. He became deeply puzzled by the similarities between personages' rites and events in the Old Testament and those in the religious life of the Aztecs. So Aztecs had very similar customs to the Old Testament Israelites. He also found parallels between Christianity and the native religion. Had not the Lord stated categorically that the apostles were to preach the gospel to all nations? Well, these people. That's because these people, these so-called Aztecs, they are of people of the book, man. Okay. Duran had a few persons in whom to discuss such questions in a few books, but the Bible and Aztec picture writers to instruct him. He sought answers to the questions alone, both Hebrews and Mexicans. We'll read that again. Both Hebrews and Mexicans believed that in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. See that? That's in Genesis. The old world had the Tower of Babel, and New Spain is lofty pyramid of Cholula. Okay. The pagan priests of Huextazinco kept an ark containing holy relics. They try to call them pagan. Look, they had an ark containing holy relics, man. Okay. And that links up with scriptures, man. Second Esdras. You know, I done got it before. Second Esdras, chapter 13 and verse 39. I'm gonna read it down, all right? And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king of whom Salmanazar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Where was that further country? That is the Americas, okay, and the islands. Okay, that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. Okay, that Arsareth, once again, like I said, are the Americas, man. Could have been Africa, we've been there before. Okay? Could have been Asia, we've been there before. Okay, and the fact that it took a year to get there, it definitely wasn't in Africa. When you look at the so-called Middle East, the Middle East is very close to Africa, but keep going. It's more in the same book. He says, who besides a few monkish scholars can whether Topodazan had been Moses or St. Thomas? So they're trying to figure out, they had a certain person, Tezcatlipoca, in Indian Mexico. They want to know if he was Moses or St. Thomas. So they had a depiction of somebody that was akin to Moses. Okay? St. Moses. Okay? And this is an artwork. St. Moses the Black. St. Moses the Black. Okay? Why? Because Moses was a so-called black man. Okay? Let's keep going, though. One of Duran's informants was a wise old man from Cholula. Duran judged him to be about 100 years old. He was old, man. He was up there. Question about ancient traditions. The ancient one commenced in the beginning, before the light and the sun had been created. This world lay in darkness and shadows. Yeah, that's, once again, that's from Genesis, man. They got that from Genesis. All right, look, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. And the Most High saw the light, and that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. But in the beginning, the earth was in darkness. They have that same tale. Why? Because they come from the same stock. You understand? Okay? In this same book, let's keep going. All right, the Ark of the Covenant. Jews. It says the culture hero Tepozin had touched the waters, had parted along. See, this guy had parted the waters to pass through the gap unharmed. Both Jews and Aztecs had been on their pilgrimage by manna from, and they were fed by manna from heaven. Manna from heaven. All right. On occasions, the Aztecs prayed. All right. And then with the serpent pole, you remember Moses had the bronze serpent staff. So look at the parallels, man. Look at the parallels. And the manna from heaven, that's in the scriptures. Exodus 16. You can read that Exodus, the 16th chapter. Exodus 16 to 35. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years until they came to the land inhabited. They did eat manna until they came into the borders of the land of Canaan. Okay? So you can read about that. All right, here's another book. This book is titled Origins of the American Indians by Lee E. Huddleston. Okay, now this is a page from the book, Origins of the American Indians by Lee E. Huddleston. It says, Yucatans were descendants of the Gentile Aishian, father of Ophir. Now look at this. It reads, the Mexicans are originally of the 10 tribes captured by Solomon Azar and of the family of Issachar, when the Indians recognized as their special ancestor. So these so-called Mexicans say they come back from Issachar. Sound familiar? Okay. Okay, now let me get some more on that. Now let me get something else. This is a Vice News article. Y'all can look it up. All you gotta do is type in Vice News article, Brazilian Israelites. Okay? This story is like 5 years old. Vice article. And you have people who believe that they are Israelites. I'm just going to read these little parts I got highlighted real quick. They claim a divine right to the Amazon basin, where they say Peru will survive the coming apocalypse and become a sort of a new Incan Israel. Okay? The Atacusi, who call themselves Israelites, but are regarded as a sect by government officials. So these people call themselves Israelites as well. Okay? Let's go down to here. Today they make up over half the population of Mariscal Ramon Castilla, with over 20,000 Israelites spread across different settlements, all of which have biblical names such as New Jerusalem or New Mount of Olives. So they have biblical names. New Jerusalem, New Mount of Olives. I wonder why. Okay. History of circumcision, for those of you that don't know. You have some Sea Islander Australian Aborigines, some Sumatrans, some Incas, Aztecs, Mayans, and ancient Egyptians. Today it is still practiced by Jews and Muslims and many tribes in the East. They all practice circumcision. Okay, why? I specifically speaking of these Incas, Aztecs, and Mayans. Why did they practice circumcision? Because they knew who they were, man. Okay, now in my final closing thoughts, they have you thinking that you ain't nothing, man. Look, we got these N-words believing they just Africans. Okay? And in my closing thoughts, they just want you to continue to think that you're just an African and your history starts with slavery. Okay? They have become Confederate against us, man. You can learn about that in Psalms, the 83rd chapter. A song, a psalm of Asaph. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make it tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. So they want you to believe that you're nothing, man. They want you to keep just believing you a slave, man. They want you to they want to get rid of our heritage. They want to try to get rid of who we were, man. Okay? That's why I do these history videos, man. Because so many people have no idea how vast our history really is, man. And that the majority of things you learn is just pure narrative. All right? Narrative disclosed to you by your enemies, man. So these people want you to keep thinking that you was nothing but a slave, man. Even though you had your own, the so-called black man had slaves of his own history. They don't want you to talk about that. Look, the slave dealer. They want you to just keep thinking you're a slave. All right, they want you to just think about the bed wench, They don't want you to think how they had how some women were back in the ancient world. They don't want you to think that, man. They don't want you to know about that we were not the only slaves, man. You type in the word slave today, you Google the term slave, you get a so-called black man. But hey, they don't want you to know. Okay, they want you to watch things like Django. They want you to watch you there, walking down in chains. They don't want you to know about us on horses, okay, in Spain in the 1500s. They don't want you to know about that. They want you to think about King George and Ben Franklin. They don't want you to know that we had kings in Europe. They don't want you to know about our people. They don't want you to know about who the real Europeans are. And they want you to keep being a damn crayon color. Talking about Black Lives Matter. They want you to be a damn comparable to a crayon, to a color, man. Why do they want you to be black so damn much? Because the term black is derogatory. The term black was used for dark-skinned people, Old English, 14th century. The term black means fierce, terrible, and wicked. Without light. The scriptures say we're the children of light. So black means without light, moral or spiritual. Black means gloomy, unlucky, bad, wicked, malicious. All right, that's what you do when you call yourself black. All right, and black is also associated with death. Okay, they want you to keep thinking you black. They want you to keep being run by these women, man. All right, the scriptures tell you that the man is the head, and yet they have you brothers following behind these women. All right, who don't know what the hell is going on, man. I'm just keeping it real, man. All right, I want you to look up to LeBron James and King Von. Okay, they don't want you to read and study your history. They don't want you to understand the scriptures is about you. All right, they have people, they want you to believe that you all come from Africa. They don't want you to know that you were black, that they were black Europeans. They don't want to talk to you about the real black Vikings. I done did a video on both of them. Okay, you got these agents like Malcolm X who say we're not Americans, we're Africans who happen to be in America. Well, that's not true, man. They don't want you to know that you are already in South America. They don't want you to know about this picture right here of the Incan Indians, the so-called Incas. Okay? They don't want you to know that, man. All right, that's my thoughts, man. They don't want you to study. They don't want you to learn. But the truth's out, the cat's out the bag, man. All right, I'm no longer asleep. All right, it's time for brothers. It's time for our people to wake up, period, man. Romans 13 and 11, the ones that's meant to get it, the elect. Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So wake out of sleep, man. And with that, I'm going to end this video. I say peace to the 12. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, the Most High Yahawah, in the name of His only begotten Son, yahawashi, man. I want to say shalom, which means peace, to you people listening and learning, to you elders doing this thing, doing this work in truth and sincerity, and to you, or the elders been doing this thing before me, and to you people doing this work in truth and sincerity. Get my words jammed up. All right, and that's pretty much it on that, man. I'm gonna keep doing these history videos. They're important to me. Okay, and with that, I say peace. That's the conclusion of the so-called Black Aztecs. Shalom.